Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to a sort of a tutorial or a guide through some of what is available on the Performium Minecraft server. And that is the one that RGA and Donnie Bobes play and troll on. And I am just going to show you some of the features that you really want to know for getting started, and I'm probably going to be splitting this between a couple of videos. And the first thing that you are going to encounter when you go to mc.performium.net is this location here, which is the whole spawn point. This is the hub. And there are a couple of hubs, and if you right-click on the compass that you are provided with while you are here, there are a lot of options to go to. Among them are the options for multiple hubs. But I will get into this stuff in a bit. I want to show you around here just a little. There are a few things that you might want to use, and a few little games that you want to play. Not all of the games are going to give you any rewards for doing them, but some of them will. For instance, if you come off to the left after you immediately spawn in, there are these game wheels, and it says right-click the arrow to spin. Now, I think I've already spun today. This probably won't work. Oh, no, it'll work. If you've already spun, it'll tell you you can't spin again because you've already done it. But clearly I hadn't done it yet, so here we go. The nuggets are 25 points. 25 points. The iron is 10. The emeralds are 50, and the diamonds are 100. And if you get a diamond and the 100 points, it will broadcast it, and everyone will know you've done it to either ignore you or just give you a congrats or whatever. It depends on who's on and their mood, but ultimately it's for you. Now, these points are used to get perks and also to get a few items that you normally would not be able to have. Let's go points and see what comes up. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I currently have 3,528 points. Now, you get points from either spinning the wheel, like I just did, or you can get points just simply by being online in your character and not being kicked off for AFK. I think it's either every 3, or I've been told with more confidence that it is 5, but either way, every increment of minutes you get 1 point added to your total. So if I just sit here for several minutes and then check back, it'll probably go up another point. I don't know if I have to close this interface and start it back up, but I'm not going to. There is a points store. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is if you click on any of these and you want to get back to this menu, you have to start over again. So I'm going to click in this. Actually, if I click on that, as you can see, nothing happens. If I click on this, there are items that you can buy for points, and they apply just for the realm that you are on. Right now, I'm in the hub, so these things can be purchased for the hub. If I go points, or if I just go shop, I can click on the server commands, and this is true throughout all of the different realms of the server. You can purchase fly, but I already have fly. You can purchase fix. Fix means you don't have to use an anvil or your experience or materials. And it gets around that pesky bit where if you get a really, really high enchantment on an item and it needs to be repaired, you can no longer repair it because the item is too high value. This gets around that. It fixes it. Then we have heal. and it does what you think it does. It heals all of your health. It doesn't matter if it's damage caused by falling or fire or whatever, you can heal yourself. Now, I don't know the increment. I don't know if there is a limit to how often you can do it, but it is a good thing to have from time to time. Then there is also feed. That way you don't have to worry about carrying around food all the time. You can just simply feed yourself to full. I don't know the saturation level for that. Obviously, I haven't tried it. Oh, here's another player. Let's see if Siren Song 21 is going to get a diamond. Just morbidly curious. Oh, it looks like it's going to go past it. Nugget, just like I got. Congratulations on the 25 points, Siren Song 21. Anyway, that is the commands that you can get like that. Let's go back into the shop and come over here to the server prefixes. Now, the server prefixes are incrementally based. This first one is 4,500 points, so I have less than 1,000 to go before I can get this. And then everything beyond that, in order to know how much you're going to spend, you have to purchase it. Now, these prefixes and those server commands, as well as hat and I think a couple others, can also be purchased at buycraft.performium.net. And it's basically you are donating to the server, and in return, the server is giving you some ability or another. And with ranks come different capabilities. If you go to a website, which I'm going to put the link to in the description if I can hunt it down again, and I will also try to remember to overlay it up here somewhere so you can see that. You can go and look at what all the different ranks capabilities are. Some of them allow fly, some allow opening and building and opening of an ender chest or /e chest. I can't do that yet. Rank allows you to use a silk touch item on a spawner to retrieve the spawner instead of just making it go poof. And there are several other aspects. You can TPA, which instead of using the warp commands like on Skyblock, you can just go directly to another player, or you can bring another player directly to you. There are lots and lots of different things available as you rank up, and the highest rank that you can buy from this is obsidian. It goes iron, lapis, redstone, gold, diamond, emerald, and then finally obsidian. And the obsidian has, as I understand it, all of the things. There we go. Another thing that happens while you were in hub, I was waiting around for it to happen again. Bound to happen. There is no weather ever at all. No weather at all in the hub. So when you hear thunder, what that means is someone is getting banned. It is a glorious, wonderful, delightful sound. Now, I mentioned this compass. What's this thing here? Hide players. Let's go over here. Here's a bunch of players sitting in the hub. If I do this, poof, where'd they go? Makes it so there are fewer entities, and any new players that show up can be visible. But if you have like a whole bunch of entities around you, and you're starting to get a little bit of lag or something, or you just simply want to take a nice, crisp, unadulterated screenshot, there you go, hide players. And then finally over here we have the rules. Lots and lots of rules. Oh, look at all these 6 pages of rules. Don't exploit and cheat. Don't advertise. And this also includes advertising for other servers and other means of generating income or anything like that that do not involve Performium. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. If you want to advertise on, like, say you have a website or a YouTube channel or something of your own, advertise there. Don't advertise on the server. Just don't. You'll get banned. Also, don't ask for help unless it is an emergency or something. Instead, go to the forums. And also, don't ask to be a moderator because you will get ignored. You can apply, and I believe that is performium.net/application, and you can apply to become staff. So don't beg, and just be patient, because you're not the first in line. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people ahead of you waiting to also become moderators. Be patient and don't beg. And also, don't ask for a mod or an admin unless it's absolutely necessary. And over here, if you make a donation, don't do a chargeback. Why donate if you're going to charge back? If you don't have the funds in the first place, don't donate. But no exploiting or hacking or anything like that. And just simply be kind, not just to staff and players, just be kind in general. If it's not yours, don't take it, don't break it. If you accidentally pick something up, give it back to the person who dropped it. Be kind. We are all one big community, and it's not going to work if we all don't work well with each other. Hey, that's one of the other things I was going to mention. This server, it doesn't matter if you are playing on Minecraft version 1.11.2 or 1.8. The server is, at least right now, on Minecraft 1.9. So things that came out after 1.9, like observer blocks or bone blocks, or other functionality like using a firework rocket to fly everywhere with an elytra instead of having to do the gliding all the time, the functionality is different. So keep that in mind. You are locked in at 1.9, at least for right now on the server. Now, one last thing about the hub. There are other things to do other than just spinning the wheel, but like I mentioned before, not all of them will give rewards. If I come over here to this skull and go up these stairs to, I believe, up here, yes. Alright, I mentioned that there are other things to do and other things to see in the hub. And if I come over to the ship, we've got a nicely built little ship. Cannonballs being flung through the air. Over here we have someone named I've Got a Jar of Dirt. Reference to something. But there are interesting builds, there are mazes, there are games, there are parkours. If you manage to do this little parkour here, follow it all the way over, and it's not all that easy, as it turns out. You get to go down this little ladder, and yay, you did it. Or there's another, oops, wrong side. There's another one where if you do the parkour and get to the destination, it says you're in the cool kids area, and it's just a lot of fun, little busy work things to do here in the hub. Some pretty cool builds. I'm not gonna lie, this is neat and extreme. And we have a nice little logo. I'm pretty sure that's the Performium logo. Performium P.net in PN. I think that's what it stands for. I don't think we're meant to go back here. No, we're not. Because this is barrier blocks, but still. Really cool looking. Lots of stuff to do. Anyway, let's move on to, if you want to join an actual server to do something, you have to utilize this compass, and there are lots of things that you can do. You can go to a survival multiplayer where you can stake a claim out in the wilderness and build and thrive and survive and hopefully not get griefed and raided and all that. There's the Squid SMP, two different SMP servers. Ooh, another ban. We have here VIP. Now, I'm not sure what this is. I mean, what the functionality of clicking on this button does, but it is set aside for the people who are YouTube sponsors. Then we have Factions and Factions 2. And this is, it uses the Factions plugin so you can actually lay claims, and join factions and gain faction power. It's kind of neat. There's armies. No claims, no plugins, no resources. Just fight and survive. There is roleplay. That's a somewhat new one, and there's building, and you can marry, and there's just all kinds of activities going on the roleplay server. It's your typical roleplay kind of environment, but it's got the whole Minecraft twist to it. There's creative, where you can claim a plot, and if you have higher rank, you can claim additional plots beyond that, and you can join plots together. You can, I think, group up with other people and make a massive plot, and you can just build in creative. It's kind of cool. There are some limitations. You can't like drop lots of items on the ground, and I think potions don't work, and other things are disabled. But it is primarily a building environment. We have the two hubs. I'll get back to the Skyblocks in a moment. There are games down here where you can dig for treasure, and it's, I think, a race against the clock or a race against other players to dig for the most or the best or a specific treasure. I have not actually been in there. I've actually not been in any of these mini games. There are 3 Hunger Games, and I think they are all the same setup. It's just designed to accommodate more people at once. There's the TNT run, which basically you get in, you start running, and if you stop, you die. So you have to just keep on running and running and running and get to the end of the obstacles and all that. And if you survive, there will be a little broadcast saying you won. There are sky battles. It's like Skyblock, only you are fighting against other players in either teams, or I think if you I think you might be able to do just one-on-one. I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I said, I haven't tried, but it is fun. There are lots of videos of people doing sky battles. It's kind of neat. Then there are spleef arenas, 2 of them. And this, in case you don't know, you are on a platform where the opponent or opponents are able to dig the blocks under you, and if you fall through, you lose and die, and the last person remaining is the victor in these spleef arenas. So, last 2 things on here are Skyblock. OP Skyblock is it. I've had it described to me by people as a slightly harder creative. It's not really that, but it is not really Skyblock. Skyblock is about thriving off of very little. OP Skyblock is, let's see how many fancy bells and whistles we can add to Skyblock to just make it over the top. You don't really have to worry about surviving. This is more about what crazy, insane things can I do with this huge amount of airspace that no one else is allowed to work with. It's not Skyblock. It's just designed after Skyblock. And then finally there is Skyblock. Skyblock. Let me go to spawn and assume that this is what you're doing. If you come here for the first time, you will show up right here facing this direction. This is the spawn for Skyblock. And when you come here, you are greeted by some signs. Please do read them. It's good starter information. You type island to get an island, and you will have a selection of islands to choose from, ranging from very easy to very difficult. And by very easy, I mean relatively very easy. It is Skyblock after all. And if you do mess up, like for instance, you've just totally lost all of your goods and you don't have any real means of reclaiming them or trading with other players or anything like that, you can type island restart and start again, and you will be able to do that, I think, a total of 3 times, maybe 2 times. The first island, and then island restart, and then island restart. Beyond that, good luck. You have to have friends. Oh, there's another person here. Hello, the Big T. You have joined the game. Welcome. You can trade with players by trade space player name, and it will bring up an inventory where you can buy stuff. And then that's pretty much it. But that's a very limited amount of information to go on for getting started. So let's go over to my island. It is raining. How delightful. I have been at it for a couple of weeks now. And I have quite the island. If you did not know from any of my other videos, then this is definitely not my first day on my island. I have absolutely been here working busily for quite a while. But when you get to your new island, you start digging for cobblestone and planting trees and hopefully getting a farm started, tilling some dirt and all that, and just starting to squeak by. You get a cow, and sometimes, depending on the island start type, you get a chest. And once you're there, you might think that you are alone in all of this. Yes, you can trade with other players, but you have things to do and places to go, things that are at your disposal. One of the big things that you can do, especially early on, is challenges. And you can get to them by typing island or IS and clicking on challenges. It will bring up this, but for your first time it will bring up this page. Or you can type /C for challenges, or you can type challenges. Either one, it doesn't really matter. It will bring you to this. And this is how to get items much more rapidly. Somewhere on your island or in your island there's sand that you can use for growing one or more cacti. And if you take 2 of them and turn them into glass, you can get some rewards for doing this quest 2 times. I do not remember what the rewards are, because once you've completed the full, it says max reach 2 out of 2, it no longer displays what the reward was. But there is a first time reward, and then there are different rewards for subsequent completions. So if I come over here to bread maker, if I make 21 loaves of bread, which is 63 pieces of wheat, then I can turn it in and get 1 block of dirt. And dirt is very precious on this server. And all of these challenges proceed up to either 100 for the absolute maximum on any of them, or some lower number, like this is 2, or on several of them, it is just simply do it once. The builder is based on your island level, and there are several things in here that are based on your island level. To find the island level, you can type island, and you can type which one is it? Island level. You can click on that and it will display down in the chat. My island level right now is 757. And let's see here. If I go back to challenges, as you do that, as you build your island, you will gain more levels, and you will have a pretty massive plot of land to work with, so don't worry about running out of room for a very long time, and I'll show you that in a moment. But after you get a certain number of these turned in for the first time on each one, you are allowed to move on to the next stage, and then the next stage, and so on, and so forth. The final one is to get an island level of 1000. I'm not even there yet, and I have a lot going on. Let's take a look. Oh, /fly. If I come up here, though it is raining, you can see I have a lot of island occupied, and I have gone all the way down to the very bottom of my map and built or begun building a platform. I have the borders, and then I have all the places where there needs to be some light in order to prevent hostile mobs from spawning, other than slimes. And I just need to go back in and refill, or not refill, but fill in all of these empty gaps. But once I'm done, that will probably raise my island level to probably in the 900s. I'll be getting very close to a maximum level island for the Archduke requirements. There isn't really a maximum level, but I'm talking about the maximum for the challenges. All that is needed to get the highest challenges, 1000 island level. There we go, platform on the bottom. This is one of my little things that I've been working on. Ta-da! But there is a lot of vertical space. That is position 1 or 0, whatever it is, right above the void. I cannot build anything under that. And you can build all the way up to 256, so don't worry about space constraints. However, there is a horizontal space constraint. The borders of this giant square are literally the borders of my property. If I come over here, in the chat, it will say, now leaving Thorn of Knights Island. Now, there's no one over here, so it doesn't... Oh, there is someone over in this direction. I was wrong. Sorry. But this is the Soul Devil's Island. I don't think I've ever seen them on. Here's another command you can use. Scene the underscore soul underscore devil. Almost a month. 19 days since they were on last. They probably don't even have much. Alright, but this is my island. Like I said, your island is going to be this tiny beginning. So you can do challenges and get rewards for them, or you can visit other people's islands by warping to them. So let's warp to another player's island. Let's just pick someone who is on. Let's go to KDOEHR/IS or island warp KDOEHR. Yeah, there we go. And I am now at someone else's island. Hello, big rainy island. And you can go back to your island by typing /island go, and it will take you to your spawn point. And I cannot say this often or loudly enough. Island Go is probably going to save your life. If you find yourself falling into the void very rapidly, don't even bring up the chat with typing T. Save the keystroke. Type /IS space GO and enter as fast as you can. /island go. And it will take you to your spawn point. Does not matter where you are or what you are doing. If you are falling to your doom, you can /I go and get back. Obviously, that was a platform under my feet, so I wasn't going to fall into the void, but it will take you right back to here. Very, very important. I will probably mention this more than once. Now, as far as what the requirements for the challenges are, as you progress, it might be wise to hold on to some of the rewards, because some of those rewards will come into play in advancing in the challenges later. If you are on here long enough, items that you get from rewards, you will be able to get them again by either buying or trading with players, or by just outright earning them. And there are some rare things that you can get from loot crates that you get by redeeming crate keys, which you can get from voting, and I'll go over voting in probably another video. And also you can just get them from trading with other players, or you can get crate keys from the shop here. This is the last thing I want to cover. Every realm has its own different functionality. You remember the shop where I had the points? If you do the point store now, because we are in Skyblock, you can buy spawners and you can buy crate keys. Or if you go into shop here, the server commands, these are universal, just the same as before, and so are the ranks, or not IS, SHOP. And let's look at this. 35:33 some time has gone by. So there we go. Some of the getting started stuff that you're going to want to know for getting into Skyblock and just working on the Performium server with whatever realm that you're going to be going to. But I think I'm going to wrap up here and start a second video on some of the other things that you're going to need to know. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. If you want to ask me things in the game itself in person, I am on most days from usually fairly early in the day until very late at night for my time. So it probably 10 to 15 hours a day you can probably see me on here at some point or another, whether I am building or helping some other player. I am doing something. So there we have it. But if you like this video, please give a like. I do appreciate that, and it does help. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. I have lots of things going on. But I'm going to let you go. Thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night on the Performium Skyblock server at mc.performium.net. And I will talk to you later.